Hey, Ron Doyle here again with the old DoubleClicks Live podcast, which is now gray-haired tech. We're going to see the intros and stuff changing in the next couple of videos, but for now we're going to stick with old DoubleClicks and get it done. This is our 29th episode today, and I'm doing it on an article that I wrote in the newspaper last week, or just actually it came out yesterday, and it's about how to combine two fantastic softwares from totally different companies together and come up with a really good item. So today we look at how to combine Gmail with Microsoft Outlook. So the first thing you have to do before you do anything with Outlook, and Outlook is software that comes with Microsoft Office. If you have Office, most likely you have Outlook. Depends on which version you got. There are so many versions, so many different combinations, so many different ways to get it that I can't even keep up anymore. Used to, it was easy. But basically, I'll say what I'm showing you today is for Outlook 2016 version. The other versions, older versions, run similarly. So what you see here may be the same in them, but maybe not. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we get started. First, you go to Gmail, which I've got open right here. This is my Gmail account that I use here for the demo. And I'm going to go up here to the Settings button in the upper right corner. Click there, and then this is a new menu that just came out, different customizations and stuff you can work in Google, and you can check those out if you want to play. But I'm going to hit See All Settings. And once that loads, here we go. There are a bunch of tabs at the top. General, labels, inbox, all that you can see, and you can test these and see what they do. Don't change anything unless you first find out exactly what you're doing by clicking on the Learn Mores or anything like that you want to do, or just Google it and look up if there's no Learn More. So go over to Forwarding and Pop IMAP. Okay, Forwarding and Pop IMAP. What this is that you need to tell it how you can do the mail. Now, POP is definitely out. I wouldn't use that. The reason is it's got a lot of issues. It's not as clean as this is. Watch, and I'll show you here what you should do. Go down to Status. IMAP is disabled. We want to enable IMAP, okay? So we want to enable it. So you click right here on Enable. And then you can make these decisions if you want. I didn't cover these in the article because it gets into too much of the weeds, but I did want you to see it. When I mark a message in IMAP as deleted, in other words, when you're in Outlook and mark one as deleted, what do? Do I auto expunge it immediately, update the server, imagine, in other words, here, or get rid of it when the client updates over on the Gmail side? I just do auto. That's me. When a message is marked as deleted and expunged from the last visible IMAP folder, what do you want to do with it? I'd leave it as the default. Archive the message. I don't archive anything, so I don't really worry about that. And then last, folder size limits. Do you have any there? If you've got questions on how to set up a few things, you click down here at the bottom where it says configure, and it'll open up another window to give you some more tips. We'll walk through those today as we get into it. We're just going to say enable it, save changes. I always just like to check because I'm hyper like that. Click on your settings again, go back to forwarding, and this one is POP and IMAP, and make sure it is enabled. That's all you have to do on the Google side. So we can actually just close it down. I don't have any messages in here, so I won't bring over much, but it will add one as we set this up. So then what I'm going to do now is start up Outlook. So as it's starting, I've never set Outlook up before on this computer. Actually, I have, but I made a different profile is what it's called. So it's going to first search for accounts, and it's looking for emails that it could use with that. So I'm going to blur this one out because it's one I don't really want you to see. It's a work email address. And I'm going to go in here and type in the one I do want to put in. I'm going to type in Ron DC Live at Gmail, which is the one I'm using here. Now, I can go advanced options. Let me set up my account manually. It may make me do it either way. I found out different versions, even of 2016, require you to do it different ways. So I'm going to show you this way. I hope it's the easy way. The easy way is a cakewalk. You just basically log in and you're done. But some of the ways you have to put in settings. And if we get that, I'll show you. And if we get the easy way, I'll come back and show you the harder way, just so you can see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and hit connect and see what it asks me. First thing, it's saying, do you want to do an IMAP? It was successfully added. Again, I've got this one blurred out. If I go to done, it'll open up Outlook. You can ignore the data file. Here's my DC Live. I can also notice it brings in all of my Gmail folders that I've got here. And look, here's an email that just came into the account, Microsoft Outlook test message. They're just testing to make sure the account works. So it's from in Microsoft, it was sent, and it says this is an email message sent automatically, testing, basically make sure the account works. That is the easy way to set one up. All right, I'm going to do one now the hard way. The same email, I'm going to remove it from my program. By the way, if you want to add another Gmail address or any other address, you can go to File, Add Account, and add another one the same way. But what I'm going to do is go back to Outlook. I'm going to remove this account and just do it all over. I'm going to remove this message, and then I'm going to go to File, Account Settings, the first one, and I'm going to delete this. You don't need to have to do this, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to just remove it. Takes everything out. Okay, everything's good now. So let's pretend I just opened up. I can go back here to File, Add Account. Now I'm going to do it the hard way. It always searches for accounts it can add. It might think you want. And it checks different areas of your computer. Again, I'm going to put in Ron DC Live at Gmail, but this time I'm going to go say, let me set up my account manually. This is the hard way to do it. And I've got some of these numbers memorized and some I don't, so I'll pull up a little cheat sheet and show you what I use. So I'm going to click this. It says, okay, which type do you want to add? Well, this is a Google account, so I'm going to click Google. It is already set up. Many accounts will not do this. So I'm just going to hit OK, and it'll load up Gmail again. It's also going to give me another message was sent. It'll pop in just a second from Outlook when it did that. By the way, Outlook is a great program. I really like it. It's got a lot of other things you can see. It may look daunting. It may look like, I can't do this, but you can do this. It's not that hard. You can learn it over time, videos. Maybe I'll do some training after I'm done with Google on Microsoft Windows 10, which is what I'm going to do. And we can include Outlook in there too. Maybe I'll do some Office podcasts for you. So anyway, it's back in here and it's done now. Okay, to show you the hard things you might have to set up, sometimes instead of logging in with just a username, password, and all that, it's going to pop up and ask you for setting up the servers. So let me show you where that information is. If you go over here to File, you go down to Account Settings and Server Settings. Now, this is similar to the window that will pop up if you need to. Notice there is an incoming mail server and an outgoing mail server. So your username would be your email address you'd have to put in, and then you'd put in this, imap.gmail.com. That is the server name for the Gmail servers. And then you'd have to put in port 993. That tells it what communications terminal to use to get into the IMAP. That has to be set. And your encryption method has to be SSL/TSL. Notice there are other ones to pull from, but we want to use this one. Require login? No, not on the incoming mail server. So this is what you do for incoming. For outgoing, you'd have to set up SMTP.gmail.com, which is the server for the outgoing mail when you send it. Incoming, outgoing, kind of makes sense. The port, 465 for that communications port. And then the encryption method again, SSL/TLS. You can ignore this. Require login, user's password, no. But my outgoing SMTP server uses authentication or requires it. Use same setting as my incoming email server if it asks you that. And then you're done setting that up and you click it, and then it will set you all up. And just check mine again to make sure they were still right. By the way, there's my original Gmail that kept those test messages that came in. There you go. That's how you set it up. So for today, that's it. It was a shorter lesson today than usual, a shorter session than usual today, but that's what you need to know. So now you can check all your email that way. And if you've got other accounts, I was over here in the calendar for a minute. If you've got navigation bar down in the lower left, that's a little different than a lot of apps. But if you've got other things, other email addresses you want to add, you do it the same way. You just go to File, Add Account, fill in the information. It's going to look again for accounts, and it's finding anything on my computer it can. So it can add that in. It's always that first one it finds, but it's got others there below it could do. I'm going to have to blur those out, of course. So I hope you get the Easy Connect set up where you just run it. You don't have to fill in the numbers. But if you do, I'm going to put those numbers down at the bottom of the list so you can see those and see what you need to enter. Hope that helps. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Have a great one, and enjoy life, and be blessed. Bye-bye.